away from me, I want you to write down Genesis 1:29. Genesis 1:29, because he was not only eating these superfoods, these peas and split peas and stuff like that and drinking water, but also when you look at this idea of foods in the garden, where did he get this understanding from? Surely he was a diligent student of the word of God of the Old Testament during that time. And surely he studied Genesis 1 and verse 29. Genesis 1:29, when it says basically you need to behold this diet, behold, examine, study, and even apply the diet, the original diet that God gave to man, which was fruits, nuts, seeds, brothers and sisters, things from the trees, as it were. And when you look at that diet, and also Genesis 3:18, which was the herbs of the field, your vegetables, and all of the various foods from the vegetable kingdom that will basically give life. These things will bring health and also fight against inflammation and disease. Let me read a few to you as we come to a close. We don't have time to go to all these scriptures. So just write down in your notes Genesis 1:29 and Genesis 3:18, when it basically speak about fruits, grains, vegetables, and nuts. This is the type of diet that Daniel had. This was the Daniel diet that we're going to see is very vital, important, and even having in our diets and on our plates in these last days that will help ward against sickness and disease, and also strengthen up the immune system, to strengthen it, that it would fight off various bacteria, diseases that will come in, and various other things that will basically bring sickness and disease. This right here is also taken from what I'm about to read from healthharvard.ed. Healthharvard.ed. This is what Harvard has to say about foods that combat inflammation. Because remember, we read in Deuteronomy, the first main 4 diseases was all dealing with inflammation. And we see inflammation is a large problem in these last days in various different diseases. But notice what they say are some of essential foods to help cause and fight off and take away inflammation, or that is anti-inflammatory. It says this: include plenty of these anti-inflammatory foods in your diet. Number 1, tomatoes. Tomatoes, food is in the garden, spoken of in Genesis 1:29 and also Genesis 3:18, brothers and sisters, and verily could have been a part of Daniel's diet, because with all its phytonutrients and its phytochemicals, it also is anti-inflammatory, taking away inflammation and giving health to the body. It says this going on, not only tomatoes, olive oil, which the Bible speaks a lot about olive. I don't have time to touch all this, brothers and sisters. Green leafy vegetables such as spinach, kale, collards, and you can go down the line. Cabbage, all these various foods are anti-inflammatory. They fight against inflammation. We need to have more of these foods in our diet. Harvard says, but yet again, the Bible has already said it, told us to examine it, put these foods on our plate, and we're going to see the results of it in just a moment. It says this: nuts like almonds and walnuts. It says also here, this is from a word, so they say fatty fish, but we just read from the word of God that the fish are even plagued with sickness and disease. And the word of God says we should never eat diseased foods. But that's another topic. It says also, let's hear fruits such as strawberries, blueberries, cherries, oranges, and various other foods. These foods are basically foods that combat against inflammation. And guess where you can find it at? In Daniel's diet. These are the foods that God will have us to partake of in these last days that will combat against sickness and disease. Even when